It's WAG Wednesday, and joining us now is actually a colleague of ours, as she is with NBC Sports and has done a variety of reporting and hosting, and is also the fiance of Baltimore Orioles star Trey Mancini. Here's Sara Perlman. Sarah, good afternoon. It's Craig and Evan in New York City. How you doing?
Hey, guys. What's going on? Thanks for having me.
Of course. Great having you on. First and foremost, allow me to ask, how is Trey doing health-wise? I know you guys have been through it pretty good a couple years back with colon cancer. How is he doing?
Yeah, thanks for asking. He's doing great. Health is awesome. And, everything's been going really well, feeling strong, and most importantly, fully recovered and healthy and been remission cancer-free. So he's doing awesome.
Well, that's great. Good for him. And please send our regards. How did you guys meet originally?
Yeah, so right out of college, quite a few years back now, I covered Baltimore in the Nationals, and we met then. I then left to NBC a few years after in 2019, and we started dating at the end of 2019, right before 2020.
So would it have been allowed while you were covering the Orioles or Nationals to date him?
Oh, no, but I started that back in 2017, so we knew each other, for years and years, actually, like his rookie year. So, no, definitely would not have been allowed, but we were good friends and worked together, and I always joke. He's a great interview, so it worked out. We were friends. You always need someone that could talk a lot, and he was able to do that for my job.
So how soon after you left did he reach out and say, all right, now that we're not working together, what's up?
It was only a few months. Everyone always was like, oh, is it right after? And if you know Trey, that's definitely not his personality, super respectful. So it was a few months after. I was already moving to D.C., but it worked out well, and now we're engaged. So it's life took us a nice, fun route.
Pardon me for asking, but was there ever any kind of reporter-athlete role-playing at home after Chinese food? Let's pretend I just hit a grand slam to walk off a winner, and you're interviewing me in the clubhouse, that kind of thing?
No, your fantasies are far stranger than mine.
See, I would want that. I would say, listen, you're young, starting your career. He's a young player. I would say, all right, here's the deal. When I get home tonight, I hit the walk-off, you're interviewing me. And I would have, that's just my fantasy, though, I guess.
I think that's just yours.
Just me and Sam Ponder. That's it, just the two of us. Talking to Sara Perlman. See, I heard a different story. The story I heard was that as a kid growing up in Florida, you had some type of thing for Mancini peppers and said to your parents as a young child, if I ever get a chance to meet the owner of that pepper company, I'm going to marry him.
Yes, that also came into play. So now you're on to something. No, but that is his family that owns the pepper company. And I did eat them growing up, to be fair. But I'm proud that you know what that is. That's pretty cool.
Well, they're famous peppers. I'm a big pepper guy. How could you not know Mancini peppers, right?
Okay, good to know that you know them.
Yeah, so it's so interesting to me when, listen, you're a journalist, so you have your own career and you want people to take you seriously. When you first started kind of falling for Trey or dating Trey, and as you say, he's an understated kind of guy, very respectful guy. Did you feel awkward amongst colleagues where you try to keep it on the down low, or were you very open with it from jump?
No, I would say for the first, month or two, we were pretty down low because it was newer. And, I've been working for a few years at that point, and I did want to be taken seriously. And at that point, I worked so hard for my job with both Masson, and then I left to NBC. So I definitely wanted to make sure it was serious before saying anything, because what would be the point, right? Especially as, a female, he's an athlete, and it happens quite a lot in the space. Naturally, you work with people, what happens. But no, we kept it on the down low for a month or two, but our story is so different because we were only dating for about 4 or 5 months at the time, and he was then diagnosed with colon cancer. So it didn't really stay a secret long, and our relationship totally took a different turn.
Forgive me for asking this, but, you guys were dating when he unfortunately was diagnosed. Was there ever a thought of, let me run as far away as possible? I don't want to deal with that?
No, not at all. Because at that point, one, I totally loved him. And two, I never felt that way. I just kind of thought, okay, he's going to fight it and then we're going to move on. And so be it. And here we are. That's not really either of our personalities. So, I always say I think it was meant to be.
And I know this is stereotypical, but you're an attractive woman, very smart, an athlete yourself. Did you go through a lot of the growing pains that some young female broadcasters go through, where every guy was hitting on you and trying to ask you out? Did you deal with that stuff?
Yeah, a little bit in the beginning, but I worked with a lot of respectful athletes, honestly, and I think it happened honestly twice where I felt uncomfortable in like certain situations, and I left, and I never had another issue since. So I work in the studio now; it's never a problem. But I think it happens to most young broadcasters.
Was there a guy that kind of looked out for you and said, "Hey, everybody, leave this girl alone"? Did you experience that?
Never. I took care of it myself and put a, end to that quickly and early in my career, and nothing happened since.
How do you guys handle now this season that's about to start? He's traveling. I mean, he's never, I assume, not around with all the road trips. How do you guys handle that now?
Yeah, he's gone for a week on end, and then home for a week, so I'll see him for the home games. I don't go to a lot of the road series like a lot of, girlfriends and wives do just because I work. But we have a dog and I'm busy. So it's, just he's gone for a week and then I see him when he's back, and I'll go to some cool road trips, but it flies by. I'll watch the games on TV and I'm busy working. So it's not as bad as people probably think.
So did he get really creative in his proposal? I always love the stories. Like how did he ask you for his hand in marriage?
Okay, so we were traveling to Europe. We had a trip planned this past fall. We went to Amsterdam. I was looking great every day, thinking he was going to propose. My nails done, my hair is done. He doesn't propose. We leave the Netherlands. We go to Ireland. My sister and my brother met us there, and we were at the Cliffs of Moher. And my sister actually flew the ring from Miami to Ireland, so she had it. Luckily, had a cute outfit on. It was a beautiful day in Ireland, and he was incredible. He was super creative photographer and everything, so he killed it. Did
your sister wear the ring on the plane or just keep it in her luggage?
She kept it in a mini safe in her luggage.
I would have worn it, to be honest.
Oh, my God.
That's what I would have done.
My fingers are too fat. She couldn't wear it. It would have fallen off.
There you go. And when are we getting married? And when are we having kids and all that stuff? What's the plan for that?
Kids now for a little bit. He just turned 30 and I'm still in my 20s. So we have time. No kids soon, but we're getting married in December.
In December. So after this baseball season. Got it.
After the baseball season. Had to wait.
And just tell people, I know you've had a number of different gigs. What do you got going on these days?
Yeah, I'm still working for NBC Sports, doing a show with the Celtics and Bulls game, the pregame tonight for NBC Sports Chicago, and then I'll be doing USFL halftime shows for NBC next week. I'll head to Alabama.
Great. So it's all working out, right? This is the life you wanted. It's all working out as you planned.
Absolutely.
Do you get peppers sent to the house a lot by the family, or is it like you got to go buy them?
Sometimes we'll get them when we see his parents and we're at their house, we'll grab them. But normally if I see them in the store, I buy them to support the business.
So he doesn't resent the pepper and say, you know what, I had this my entire life. I'm sick of peppers.
No, he loves them. He loves them.
I said if I was the Mancini family, I would have had him in the fields for a couple summers to understand what hard work is all about.
Well, he's in the field in another way, I guess. You can only do so much outside.
Well, listen, it's a pleasure having you on. I want to mention before we let you go, I know you got to do something for NBC in a moment, that you guys have started a foundation, the Trey Mancini Foundation. Give us a quick background on what you guys are doing.
Yeah, so happy you asked. The Trey Mancini Foundation, everyone can check it out online and make a donation, find different ways to help. But for March, it was Colon Cancer Awareness Month, so we did a lot to raise awareness for that. And we also do Blessings in a Backpack to help feed kids around the Baltimore area, getting ready for school and especially back to school at the end of the season. So it's a backpack program. So we do a lot of bringing groceries in, canned groceries to Camden Yards certain days. And then also, of course, we'll have donations for Blessings in a Backpack as well. So we'd love everyone to check that out. It's the Trey Mancini Foundation.
And if you don't mind, I think it's important for obviously we have a male-dominated audience right now. If you don't mind sharing, and if you do, I respect that. How did Trey discover that he had colon cancer? Was he not feeling well? Was it just an annual checkup and, his PSA levels were off? How did he discover that there was something wrong?
Such a good question. Yeah, I mean, baseball pretty much saved his life because he was feeling a little tired in the off season leading up to it. But when he went in for his regular physicals for spring training, his iron was really low. So I tell everyone now colon cancer is going to be 50 times higher and more prevalent in men ages 30 to 50. It used to be 50 up. So get your blood work taken. that shows internal bleeding, but more importantly, get a colonoscopy. His dad had colon cancer, and there was obviously internal bleeding. They thought it could have been celiac disease. Did a colonoscopy through his low iron levels and blood levels given by the spring training physicians for his physical, and the colonoscopy found the large mass.
Because he's young.
Colon,
He's actually young to get a colonoscopy other than a family history. So if he didn't go to if there's no spring training or he didn't go just because he was smart to go, he's not here today, right?
Exactly. No, you said it perfectly. And it's also to think about. And, you hear a lot of young males, and I know that's probably your viewers anyway. It's becoming so much, unfortunately, more invasive and more prevalent in that age group that I recommend everyone, if you can afford it, to request a colonoscopy. If not, get yearly blood work and check out Cologuard. There's so many other ways to make sure you're checking in on your health as a young male.
Well, listen, I appreciate your time. If you're in New York, by all means, look us up, and we'd love to have you come by and say hi in person. Send our regards to Trey and the family, and thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate it.
No, guys, thanks for having me. Hopefully I'll see y'all at a Yankees game.
No doubt. I'm a Yankee fan for the year, so we'll definitely see you at a Yankee game.
Okay, fair enough.
All right,
Thanks,
be
guys.
good. Take care.